So still on my GoPro Hero 7. So I did find an issue with my battery. So that's why I'm going to do this follow-up video here to share this, and maybe this can help somebody else. Okay, so I got the camera turned on. Battery level on this battery I have in there, I believe, is 83%. Settings is in 4K 60 frames per second. I'm going to turn this camera on now. So it's recording. I'm gonna, let's say, let it record for about 30 seconds. The battery that's currently in it is my it's just an aftermarket. I will show it here in a minute. I'm not trying to sell any batteries or recommend batteries. I don't know if the battery's great or total crap, but at least it seems to be working. So I'm gonna turn it off. The camera does what it's supposed to do. It beeps a couple of times and turns off. So I'm gonna do again. Start recording. And everything is basically, every option in there is turned on. So it's basically a high setting that you can do with this camera, because for this test I just want to really stress it to the max. I'm not gonna go through all the different settings because it's pointless. Because if the camera is going to fail, then it's going to fail on exactly those settings. So again, there's our 4K 60 frames per second, hyper smooth enabled, and GPS turned on. And turn it off again. So this clip's going to get saved. And battery level down to still 79%. 75% is, yeah, 75%. So it's clearly, you can see it's draining the battery because of, you know, the demand in processing. Do it one more time. Turn it on. Probably gonna do another, like, let's say 10-15 seconds for this clip. And I did it before. I can basically run it till the battery dies or the SD card is full. It's just gonna keep recording as it should. Alright, I'll stop it here. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera off. Just holding it here, of course. 3 beeps and the camera turns off like it should. Okay, now I'm getting the battery out. Okay, this is the aftermarket battery. Like I said, nothing special. It was a cheap battery. I just bought it because I wanted to have a backup. Good thing I did. Okay, now this is the original GoPro battery. Put it in the camera. And do the same thing. Power it up. And there it is. Battery level this time 100%, because of course it's 100% because I just charged it. Now I'm gonna do the recording. Start recording. Do the same thing. Ha! Now see what happened. Now the screen all of a sudden, out of no reason, turns dark. It didn't do that before with the aftermarket battery. But this time the screen turns dark, and it's not supposed to because I have the screensaver completely turned off. So let's stop the clip. Look at this. Preparing your files or file repaired. and it does all sorts of weird shit. Now the whole camera turned itself off and turned back on. It says again something like file repaired. Don't know why, but that's what it does. Notice the battery is still 100%. It appears to be fully charged. It should be fully charged. Do recording again. There we go. This time turns off right away. There's something wrong with this damn battery. Stop recording. No reaction this time. The whole camera is screwing up now. There we go, it stopped. Screen goes blank. Now it does all sorts of weird stuff. Stop recording again. Don't react this time. See that? I'm going to try to power it off. So it did power off, no beeping, no nothing. Let's power it back on. And here comes the screen back up. The battery now shows 98%, so it's draining down on a normal rate. So there's nothing wrong with that setting. So again, I'm hitting record. The screen goes blank. This time is actually, I think the whole thing powered off. No, it didn't. But look at this. I'm hitting recording. This, let me see. So the light's still blinking. No, it stopped blinking. No beeping, no nothing. Record again. There we go. So I can do this all day long. This is what it does. And so I'm going to take the battery out. I'm just going to pull it out. Put it back in. Power it back up. Now look at this. Battery now shows 3%. So there's something, I believe, somehow the battery probably internally shorted out. Maybe it doesn't really deliver the full voltage anymore because, you know, of course, there's no test for it. But it went from basically from 98% to 3%, and of course powering off. Now let's take it out again. Take it out. Yeah, it doesn't even feel warm or anything. Put it back in. Powering on. Yep, 3%. Okay. Now one more time, the other battery. So you all can see what it does. It went from 100% to 98%, but even at between 100 and 98%, it was already immediately doing this freezing up, turning off, screen goes blank, trying to repair some file or whatever, you know. There you go, turns itself off, of course, you know. Pull this battery back out. Yes, GoPro original battery. It's not that old, as old as the camera, about maybe a year. Maybe a little more than a year. So I'm gonna put this cheap ass, I think I paid like $8 for this battery compared to the $20 what GoPro wants. This cheap ass battery, that's probably, some people probably say this is a shit battery, doesn't last, what have you. Don't matter right now. Put it back in. Power it on. Power's on as it should. Thing says now something like 52%. Like I said, this battery is not great either. It's draining down pretty quick, but like I said, it's a cheap battery. But it works. So I'm turning it on, recording again. and keeps the screen stays on. Nothing stupid happens. Stop the clip. Still 52%. Let's start it up again. I'm gonna do one more recording because I don't want to get this video clip too boring. I just want to really making sure I cover this all and that everybody can see. So don't trust those batteries. Apparently they can cause issues whether they appear charged or not. Turning it back off. There you go. Battery down to 50%, which is really normal with those high settings. And like I said, this is a cheap battery. It probably doesn't have all the capacity what maybe the real GoPro battery has if it's new. But it works. So I think that was the whole problem all along. And yeah, batteries are weird. You know, they're using lithium batteries, and there's those batteries they have. I believe they have some components in there. It's not just the battery cells itself. There's somewhat of regulators in there so they don't blow up when they're getting charged or something. And they're supposed to discharge themselves too, to the point, you know. Like on my DJI drone, they're kind of self-regulating too. I'm not a specialist on it, but I know there's something wrong when a battery fully charges and then all of a sudden, you know, starts dropping. So the screen dims down after a short time, that's how it's said. I think, I don't know, 15 seconds. All I have to do is like basically touch record, comes back up, and start recording again. Okay, enough of that. There you have it. I think the problem was the battery. GoPro 7 Black. I like the camera. I like it. I like to keep using it. So battery level now 49% or 48%. Perfectly normal. So to give my 2 cents to it about this whole freezing issue, if you have a different battery, maybe you have 2 batteries that are bad, stick a third one in. Buy a brand new one, because I just ordered a couple more batteries, aftermarket batteries, because I don't want to spend the money. If they last only maybe 75% of what the GoPro batteries would last, fine. As long as it works for what I am going to do with it. Alright, there you have it. Thank you for watching.